Do our pets visit us after they've passed? How would we know if they did? Do they come in dreams, messages, songs, or unexplainable coincidences? Our pets actually go to great lengths to reach us from the other side. We just need to be open to the many ways in which they communicate. Hi, I'm Tami Hendrix. I'm an animal communicator, compassionate medium healer. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, signs from our spirit pets. I don't know about you, but when I'm missing someone I love who's passed, I'd give anything for a sign to know they're still around. The good news is there's not an expiration date for when you can receive a sign from your pet in spirit. I get asked all the time about signs from our pets in spirit. What is a sign? How will I know if my pet is trying to reach me? Is it just wishful thinking, or is it real? I think we can all agree that we love signs. I bet there's not one of you who would turn down a sign from your pet. Signs are what we long for. We hope for a way to stay in touch. In my own life, I've had spirit animals come to me in a variety of ways. Heads up. We don't get to choose how or when they come. It's not spirit on demand. In other words, when we get a sign from our pet in spirit, rest assured that there's a reason and a need at that particular time for you. To be able to spot signs, you'll need to reflect on how you best learned as a child. We all learn in different ways. Some of us are primarily visual. Others listen and absorb things. Still others need the hands-on approach. Maybe you learned with all your senses. We all have different ways we interact and interpret others. All these things factor into what signs you'll actually notice and what signs you'll ignore or not even see. So if that's the case, start paying attention in your day to what you notice and how. What would really get your attention? Is it something you'd see or hear? Or do you notice more of how something feels? It's not that the animals aren't sending us signs, messages, or even banners in the sky. It's that we either don't know what to look for, what a sign is, or we're looking in the other direction. Can you imagine how frustrating it is for our pets to be sending us signs that go right by us? It's like handing someone a gift they don't see or recognize. And worse, it's unopened. Rude. It's a wonder they keep trying. It's not just about collecting signs from our pets in spirit, but we could do that. It's also about how it would make you feel. Would it be a wow if you received a sign from your pet in spirit? Would you jump for joy? How we receive gifts matters. It's all about being receptive to spirit, to our pets, to life. Okay, so before we get into signs, here are some basics. Spirit speaks the language of life. That is, spirit signs waft in and commingle in our daily lives that can make it a tad tricky to spot them. They can seem so ordinary that you miss them entirely. While you're busy looking for a big neon sign that's floating right by you, more subtle signs float right by you. They can seem ordinary that you miss them entirely. While you're busy looking for a big neon banner that floats right by you, the more subtle signs float right by you too. Here's a good example of that. When my Murphy passed in 2016, I went into deep grieving that lasted for months. One day, a few months after he passed, I was vacuuming and opened a closet full of blankets and towels I used for the dogs. You know, it's one of those closets I need to organize. As if it were pushed out, one blanket fell on the floor right in front of me. I reached down to pick it up, only to realize it had Murphy's photo on it. I stared in disbelief at his striking image in his eyes. He was looking right at me. I dissolved in tears, clutching the throw as I slid down the wall. The sound of the vacuum continued as I'm sure I left it running. All the grief I felt came rushing up in the middle of an ordinary moment out of a messy closet. You know, looking back, I see that I was preoccupied with my grief, and it blinded me to his, "Hi, Mom, I'm here with you," message. It could have brought me great comfort and joy, but instead I was consumed by missing him. Signs can also be subtly obvious and quick like shooting stars. Spirit uses metaphors and images, so it can kind of feel like a game of charades. It always operates in the present moment. So part of the problem is most people aren't focused in the present moment. One time, I was reaching down to pick up the ones who slept in the bed, little dogs. As I reached down to pick up one of the dogs, I saw Scooter waiting just like usual. And in a swift moment, I picked him up too. I placed him next to my pillow, which was his spot, and then he disappeared. You see, he had passed that very day. I stood there kind of stunned at what just occurred and in awe of his sweet spirit. I can feel him now as I'm sharing this with you. Another time, I was taking the little dogs out on leashes. I saw Leo, an orange tabby, who looked after the front part of the property, run right by us. The dogs were startled to see him and jumped. He looked straight at us as he whizzed by, just like a shooting star. I remember asking the dogs, "Did you see Leo?" The amazing thing was, he had passed a week or two before. With these kind of sightings, you blink and they're gone. It can actually make you doubt what you're seeing, right? Or you can join in the I Spy Spirit game like I do, where everything counts and everything matters. Your attention is the secret key to unlocking the signs your pet is trying to send you. So here are some signs you might recognize our spirits pets use to get our attention. Butterflies and birds. I have a client whose dog sends her hummingbirds. Rainbows, numerical sequences, musics, songs, feathers, books. Recently, I ran into someone while riding my bike in the neighborhood. She told me her beloved soul friend Hendrix had passed, Henny for short. We had met 6 months before while Henny was still alive. In fact, Henny introduced us. She told me she'd been having a really difficult time coping with his loss. And she said, but almost immediately after he passed, she started seeing double rainbows everywhere, butterflies, numerical sequences. She told me she even ran into a heart-shaped rock on a walk. And think about this sign, that we would randomly meet over 6 months ago while Henny was still alive, and now by chance meet again when she's grieving his loss. Even Spirit has a GPS tracking system and can locate us anywhere. Henny wanted her to know that he was her soul anchor and guide. He is very present as she navigates this new part of her life. What are some other ways Spirit communicates that are less obvious? Feeling your pet's presence, or even seeing them briefly like I did. Having a memory drop in out of nowhere. Hearing your pet's voice, a bark, meow, chirp, neigh. Having a dream about your pet. Randomly finding something of theirs, a toy, a collar, a blanket, and smelling their scent. Signs from our pets in spirit are uniquely personal to us. How and when we receive them reflects where we are on our journey and our relationship to that soul. No matter what the sign, they are encoded with special messages just for us. Special delivery from Spirit. If you want to increase your spirit sign receptivity, get a journal and keep track of the signs you run into every day. What you put your attention on grows. Signs are the surprise gifts we delight in opening. Expect to be surprised. What signs have you had from your pet? What signs would you like to see? I'd love for you to share in the comments. I hope you've gotten something out of this today. If so, please like this video. And if you've really gotten something out of this, subscribe to my channel. Next week, I'll be back to share more messages from the animals. You won't want to miss it. See you then.